against Alexandrov. Vikulov is the other forward for the Soviets. Lapointe tried to set up his man shut, and it's down the ice. And Luchenko touches it, icing against Montreal. Soviets with the defense of Zagankov. Laying up along with Luchenko. Here's shot he has scored in this game tonight. He's belted at the line by Luchenko. Now Vikulov into the center ice area, hitting the Montreal line, trying to get by Bouchard. Emahovich cleared it to the line. It's brought in by Zagankov, and that's offside. Lafleur to Lapointe. Lapointe slapping it off the boards, racing after it out to the left side to Lemaire. He cleared it into the Soviet zone. Gusev in there against Lafleur. Gusev from the corner. Montreal leading 2-0. A pass. Harlamov has it on the right side. He's over the line. Takes the shot. A quick wrist shot. And Dryden had to kick it out very neatly. That wrist shot is very dangerous. Now Petrov coming back in. Tried to set up Harlamov, and Savard broke it up. Vasiliev back at the Soviets line. Now Petrov going after it. Swings the pass up to Gusev. Gusev closing in for the shot. And it goes off Savard over the glass. Savard seems to be everywhere when he's out there.
At 16:33 here in this first period, with his team leading 2-0, Ivan Cournoyer draws a hooking penalty. So, Danny, a chance for the Soviets as the period draws to a close.
And it'll be Petrov, Mikhailov, Harlamov, Gusev, and Vasiliev. Canadians clearing it down the ice, and they are defending with Jarvis and Gainey up front with Savard on defense with Lapointe. Now the Soviets. Harlamov grabbed it at center, darting in on that left side. He dropped it back. Gusev slapping it into the corner for Harlamov, but Savard is there, plays it to Jarvis. And Jarvis starts out against Petrov. They fight for possession on the boards. Savard comes up with it. He hits the Soviet line, takes the shot. It's a weak one off Gusev's stick. Now Gainey trying to keep it in there. Mikhailov from the corner, turning with Harlamov and Petrov. Gusev moves up in the play, and he's stopped by Jarvis. Here's Jarvis down with Gainey. Jarvis decides to kill off valuable seconds on that penalty. From center, he knifed it back into the Soviet zone. A minute left in the penalty to Cournoyer. Now Lemaire during the forechecking. Vasiliev. He's stopped by Lemaire. And Lemaire cleared it out to center. Petrov is bumped by Roberts. Harlamov is stopped by Lemaire. And the Canadians doing a magnificent job of killing off this penalty to Cournoyer. Now Gusev sends it ahead. Petrov at center. Alexandra is up in the play. Alexandrov getting it back. Vasiliev takes a shot, and it goes off Lemaire into the center ice area. Mikhailov to Alexandrov on the right side. He starts in on the wing, and it's offside with Gusev in there over the line.
16 seconds remaining in the penalty to Cournoyer. And the Canadians have had a good shift right here of penalty killing from both Doug Jarvis, who then left the ice and was replaced by Jacques Lemaire. And if you watch the Montreal Canadiens very much, you don't see this too often, Jacques Lemaire sprawling to block a shot. But he certainly did there, and they're doing a lot of things here tonight I guess they might not normally do, because as Danny has pointed out, the Canadians are very much fired up.
Hovlich this time shoots it down the ice. We have exactly 8 seconds left in the penalty to Cournoyer. Vikulov, 18, is turning. Alexandrov, number 11, has it. He feeds it ahead. The penalty has expired. The puck into the Canadian zone. And it is icing called against the Soviets. 2-0, Montreal leading the Soviets.
It was a second power play opportunity for the Soviet team. Vladimir Vikulov and his teammates, and they had not got a shot on goal in either one of their opportunities. This fellow's been on and off with the national team, Vikulov. He scored twice against the Rangers on Sunday. There's the clock situation. 1:22 left. Canadians lead by 2.
In the face-off, Cournoyer to Don Orey. Here is Robinson winding up. The shot is right on, but Tretiak had it taped all the way. Here's Don Orey taking a shot. Hovlich fired it, and he was wide. Cournoyer along the boards. He's jostling there with Luchenko. Now it's back to the line. Don Orey keeping it in. Sagankov and Cournoyer fight for it. Cournoyer has it. Shlupkov along the boards gives it to Vikulov. He fires the puck back to Luchenko. Now Vikulov was stopped. Sagankov working from the corner. Shlupkov feeds it to Vikulov, cutting in on that right side, rammed in on the boards by Don Orey. Mahavlich played it to the corner. Alexandrov fell in the corner. Wilson missed the pass at center. Luchenko rolled it ahead. It was almost blocked by Lafleur. Let's see an interference penalty coming up here against Shlupkov, is it? There's somebody over in that area. And let's see, the penalty will be assessed finally. And someone will go over there. Did you get that, Dick?
I think it is number 22, Shlupkov. He hasn't been told yet that in the National League, I guess you've got to go directly to the box these days. He went over the players' bench. Now he has returned. There it is at the top of your screen. Interfering with the Canadian player, Bob Gainey. So with 15 seconds left in the first period, the Soviets draw a penalty.
Lemaire, Lafleur, Schott, Lapointe, and Savard. That's the power play alignment for Canadians. With just a dozen seconds left, they go with two defensemen. Here's Lafleur. Lafleur working the corner. He left a pass quickly. There's a shot by Schott. And it went off a stick over the glass in that corner area to the right of Tretiak. 3 seconds left.
That was almost a pretty good play. Schott worked hard to get in position with Lafleur with the puck watching. Time for a face-off and maybe one shot.
With 2 seconds left, a few years ago, Mahavlich scored from the face-off, the only goal of the game against Toronto. Doesn't happen very often. Lemaire gets the shot, but it's wide, and that's going to be the end of the period, with Montreal leading the Soviets 2-0.
And the Canadians drawing a semi-standing ovation from the happy crowd here tonight. The shots on goal favor the Canadians. Montreal out shooting the
15,000. We'll have the official paid attendance prior to the start of the third period. Now the second period about to get underway, and the penalty killers for the Soviets will be Petrov, number 16, Mikhailov, number 7, and the front three for Montreal: Lambert on the left side, Lemaire at center, Lafleur on the right wing, Savard and Lapointe on the point. Gusev and Vasiliev are on the blue line for the Soviets. Now Lapointe hits the Soviets line, working into the corner, putting on the brakes, trying to get it back to Lambert. It's loose in there for a fraction of a second. Vasiliev and Lapointe fight for it. Lafleur is chasing it to the far side. Savard drops back to the point, back into the corner to Lemaire. Lemaire for Lafleur. Petrov is after him. Lafleur falls. Now behind the net, Vasiliev. He gets an opening, clears it out. Mikhailov over to Petrov. Lemaire wheeling back for Montreal. Lemaire over the line. His shot is blocked by Vasiliev. Gusev has it with 55 seconds left in the penalty to Shlupkov. Canadians back into their own zone. 2-0 Montreal, leading on goals by Schott and Lambert. Here's Savard. Four-man attack for Montreal, and it's offside with Lambert going in too quickly on the left wing.
Well, there is number 6, Gennady Chekinkov, 28 years of age. This is his 6th year with the Central Red Army team. And, of course, this is the team that supplies the majority of the players to the Soviet National Club. 10 of them in uniform tonight were up against Harry and John's Team Canada 72 team.
Solidukin, number 15. Vikulov, 18, on for the Soviets. Here's shot winding up, and a cannonading shot right on. Back to Van Boxmeer. He shot a hard one. There's the point taking a shot. 3 big saves there from the firepower of the Canadiens. And that Van Boxmeer has come up with a tremendous shot, and he's very accurate. Here's Van Boxmeer coming down ahead to Cournoyer, bursting in on the right side, feeds it in front, and shot was covered by Sagankov. Here's Mahovlich getting the use from the net. He pokes away at it. Tretiak is down. It's loose in front. Shot getting it back to the point. Slitkov is back on. Gets it over to Vikulov. Vikulov over the line, takes the shot. The point blocked it. Shot goes to the ice along with Vikulov. Now the Soviets. Popov chasing it to the side. He's bodied by Lambert. Rysbrough coming in on the left side. He centered it. Solidukin clearing it on the right side. It's Maltsev hitting the Montreal line, gathering speed. Maltsev around the net from the corner. Maltsev jammed into the boards by Bouchard, who falls. Maltsev doing great work for the Soviets. He's pulled over it finally by Rysbrough. Great work there by number 8, Maltsev. Now Savard on the right side. Solidukin after him. Popov goes after Tremblay. Volchenkov working to the line, losing it to Lambert. Players go sprawling all over the ice at the Canadiens line. Lambert is shooting it in over the line, and the Canadiens make changes while the play goes on. Now the Soviets broken up at center by Wilson. Wilson coming in with Roberts. He shoots it right on. Here's Wilson shooting it. The light went on. He hit the goal post. He hit the goal post. The light went on, but he hit the goal post. The goal judge was a little trigger happy there. Robinson faking the shot. Jarvis shoots it to the short side. Now they jam in on the boards in behind Tretiak.
Well, Murray Wilson got it that backhand away quick. Here's a save by Tretiak, and here's Murray coming up off the top post and did not go in the net.
Face off to the right of Tretiak. We are now a dozen seconds away from the 4th-minute mark into the second period. Mikhailov takes his shot. It's score! Mikhailov fired it. Dryden got a piece of it, and it went in. That was a quick wrist shot, Dick.
And only the first shot they've had on goal in this period. Only about the second time all night, John, that I can recall that they threw one of those long passes up and it worked.
Well, here's Mikhailov getting that quick wrist shot away, and I thought Dryden had a piece of it, and he did.
Yeah.
And it dropped in across the line.
2-1.
Red Army goal scored by number 7, Boris Mikhailov. Assist to number 5, Valery Vasiliev, at 3 minutes and 54 seconds.
3:54. Harlamov coming in, and he's spun around by LeBert. Puck is back at center. Mikhailov getting the goal. Vasiliev the assist. Here's Lemaire coming in over the line. And the Red Army team right back into the thick of things. It's 2-1 for Montreal. Mikhailov, a drop pass to Petrov. Back to Mikhailov. Petrov centering it. And it went off Dryden. The point ahead to Lafleur. Gainey is on the left side. Here's Gainey going in. He finally picks it up. Works off the boards. Into Lafleur. Lafleur getting set back to Lapointe. He waited too long. He was checked to Mahovlich. Couldn't get it in front. Now it's tipped ahead by Harlamov. Mikhailov going in, Dryden out of the net, and Savard comes up with it. Savard's pass hit Petrov's stick. Now then Lafleur. Forechecking is Harlamov for the Soviets. So is Mikhailov. Now Mahovlich with that big reach comes out. He cleared it ahead. And Gusev knocked it back to center. A neat move by Mahovlich. Mahovlich coming up with a Russian maneuver there, putting the puck between his skates. Here's Shluptov down at center on the right wing in over the Montreal line. The big fellow tried to center it off Ori's stick. Cournoyer bumped by Alexandrov. Gusev failed to hold it in. Now Mahovlich chasing it to the far side. Alexandrov turning at the Soviets line, back in over the Canadiens line. Here's Gusev firing it, and it went off Cournoyer. Lambert playing it out over the line. Chasing it to the far side, finally Gusev got it. Hit Alexandrov. 2-1, Montreal leading in the second period. Lambert couldn't hold the pass. Zagankov to Luchenko, and he missed Shluptov. Don Ori ahead for Risebrow. Now Alexandrov missed a pass. The checking so close right here, both teams failing to find the target on the passes. Ori to Lambert ahead to Risebrow. He failed to negotiate contact. Now Nikulov. He's stopped there by Risebrow. Risebrow coming in. Trombley and Lambert moving up. Here's Lambert. And that one hit Nikulov. That pass hit Nikulov. He seemed to get it on the side of the face. Now Popov speeds to center in over the Montreal line. It's swept off his stick by Lapointe. Lapointe rolling it ahead into the center ice area. The Red Army team making changes. A dire dearth of whistles here in the second period. Guskin. Lafleur shot. Mahovlich, Lapointe, and Van Boxmeer on the power play for the Canadiens. He'll give you the Soviets defending lineup in just a second. Now then, Mahovlich centered it right in front, and Lafleur slapped it wide from the side of the net.
Oh, what a
That
chip.
was a beautiful setup.
Great play, Ferg, by Pete.
You know, Dick, in the pregame warm-up, he was stopping all his shots on the low corner of the net with his goal pad. Most goaltenders stop them with their sticks. There was a good example. He got that goal pad across and give it all that more strength behind the stop.
Now Lafleur to Van Boxmeer, to Peter Mahovlich, to Lafleur right in front of the net and shot. He was in there pretty close. He couldn't get it up. And right there to block it, Tretiak.
Canadians throwing the puck around very well, and the Soviets, John, they're standing still a little bit out here in this penalty-killing role, which surprises me. They're making a change now.
Well, they went into a complete two-man defense, two-man offense here, that four-man box. The Canadians penetrated very good there, and they were unfortunate not to score. Lafleur gets it up in the top corner.
Gusev is on defense with Luchenko for the Soviets. Back to Lapointe. There's the shot, and it's blocked. Soviets breaking out. Petrov over the line. And Lapointe and Van Boxmeer got back. Here's Mahovlich with Lafleur. In over the line. Mahovlich near the corner. On the boards. He's upended, and there's a penalty coming up to Gusev. Gusev going off with 1 minute and 15 seconds left in Solidukin's penalty.
What's a two-hander first? Now takes his feet from underneath them.
Here's Lafleur over to Lapointe, closing in for the shot. Zagankov got it. He starts out over the line. Soviets are 2 players short here. Here's the master, Mikhailov. Gets it back to the line. Luchenko lost it. Now Lafleur. 52 seconds left in Solidukin's penalty. Cournoyer coming in. He centered it. Peter Mahovlich trying to get it in front. They fight for possession. Mikhailov comes up with it for the Soviets. Brings it out to center. He falls. Lafleur coming back, hits the Soviet line. Cutting it on the right side. And it's swept away by Tretiak. Zagankov cleared it down the ice. Dryden ahead to Lapointe. Lapointe up on the left side to Mahovlich. Here's Mahovlich getting set, the back pass. Lapointe over to Lafleur, closing in for the shot. Luchenko got in front of it. Here's Cournoyer, 2 Canadians in front, and it bounces off a stick to the corner. Petrov against Lemaire. Here's Cournoyer to Lafleur. He rips the shot just wide. Puck loose in front of the net. Cournoyer scores!
John was the tire in Game 8.
Another wrist shot, Dick, and he really fired it. Got Lafleur's rebound and high on Tretiak. And the papers coming down here in the form, Dick.
Tremendous atmosphere.
Here's a shot by Lafleur. Over the top of the glass. Now watch Cornway. He's so sharp in front of that net. Here's the wrist shot. Up high. And Tretiak, of course, was down on his knees and no chance at all.
Close-up look at it here. You get a good look here at the wrist shot that Cornway takes as he swings around and just lets it go. The goal came just as the penalized player who was off first came on the ice, so that wipes out the other penalty, too.
Assist to number 10.
Well, there was no question that
and number 25.
Second penalty was definitely deserved by Gusev. He gave him a two-hander, and then he took his feet from underneath it. And like you said, Dick, he made a reaction toward the referee.
It's the first time in 2 games that they have reacted to a penalty call against them.
Montreal 3, the Red Army 1. Now here's Popov breaking in on the left side over to Maltsev, and he couldn't get a good shot away against Boucher.
I think Savard is getting a penalty for hooking as he followed in on the original puck carrier Popov on the play. So quickly after the Canadiens make it 3-1, they will be playing a man short as Savard goes to the penalty box.
Canadiens penalty number 18, Serge Savard, 2 minutes for hooking at 9 minutes and 52 seconds.
Vasiliev is in over the line. Alexandrov is out there too. Here's Gainey coming down with Jarvis off Gainey's stick. Vasiliev to Vikulov. He cuts through center, weaves his way to the Canadiens line, loses it, and it's cleared out by Jarvis. We have Vikulov, Shluptov, Alexandrov, Zagankov, and Vasiliev. That's the power play for the Soviets. Robinson in behind the net. Robinson gets it and shoots it down the ice, and now we have 1 minute and 20 seconds left in the penalty. Zagankov to Shluptov. He comes down to the Canadiens line, gives it to Vikulov. Back to Vasiliev. He shoots it right in front of the net, and Ori got in front of it, clearing it ahead for Gainey. Gainey falls. Shluptov to Alexandrov. He loses it at the line, and Jarvis clears it down. The Soviets have been unable to get on track on the power play tonight. The tenacity of the checking of the Canadiens has been a thing of beauty. Vasiliev cleared it in front, and now it's Lemaire ahead to Robinson in on the left side. Robinson into Soviets territory. Zagankov in on the boards, takes over. He's bumped and knocked to the ice by Lemaire. Vasiliev, rink-wide pass. Mikhailov is on the ice now, and it's cleared over the glass by the Canadiens to Lemaire.
They are 18 seconds short of the completion of this penalty. It's the 3rd penalty the Canadiens have drawn in the game, and so far on Soviet power plays, the Army team has not managed a shot on goal. They have just 1 shot in this period. The Canadiens have outshot them 9-1, but the 1 shot was the goal for the Soviet team that made it a 2-1 hockey game, and then Cornway upped it to 3-1. Savard in the box, 18 seconds left.
It is Petrov, 16 at center. Harlamov, who has the puck now, he's on the left wing. Mikhailov, who takes the pass at center, is on the other side. Now he's going through center. Gives it to Gusev. He breaks the stick on it. A weak shot. Harlamov trying to center it, and Dryden is there to get a face-off.
This is an important face-off, Dick, with 1 second left to go, and this is what Canadians have really taken over the Soviets, has been the face-offs tonight, and also the Rangers did too. And this could be a weak part of the Soviet game, is the center ice face-offs.
In the first period, there were 20 face-offs. The Canadiens won 14. They didn't win that one.
Now it's back to Vasiliev. He tried to set up Harlamov in front. He missed it. The penalty has expired. And Roberts comes down to the line. Broken up by Gusev. Petrov working his way to the Canadiens line. Mikhailov, a weak shot. Harlamov is covered on the far wing. And it is Savard for Montreal, just dumping it in over the line. And they do that when they want to make changes. And that's what Montreal is doing. Here's Lafleur stealing the puck. Lafleur is in the Soviet zone. Nifty work along the boards by Lafleur. Now he tries to center it. And it's picked up by Gusev. Mikhailov dashes down through center ice. In over the line with Petrov. Broken up by Wilson. Jarvis rolls it over the line. Harlamov on the right side. Here's Petrov back to Harlamov. Mikhailov takes a shot. Harlamov around the net. He centered it in front of Vasiliev. A shot. And a big save by Dryden. And it's cleared by Lafleur. The Soviets buzzing around, and finally Wilson shoots it down the ice, and that's going to be icing.
Game 3 of Superserie 76 is coming to you from the Forum in Montreal.
Face off to the left of Dryden. Solidukin played it back. Shutt has it. Headmans it, but it's intercepted by Kuzkin. Over to Popov. In over the Canadian zone, getting into the slot position. And his shot went off Savard's stick. Cournoyer fired it to an open right wing. Volchenkov, number 13, he's on defense now, along with Kuzkin. Here's Maltsev. Some feel to think he's perhaps the most dangerous of all the Soviet players, number 8. But that time they couldn't get anywhere. Here's Cournoyer shooting it, and he just grazed the goalpost. That was diligent work by Cournoyer that made that shot possible. He's at it again. Now the Soviets start out. Solidukin comes to center, to the line, works in on the left side. Here's Solidukin around the net, centered it right in front. And it was gobbled up by Mahavlich. Mahavlich works his way, weaving down to the Soviet line. Now he puts on the brakes. Mahavlich still with it. Pass went off a leg. Solidukin laying it around the net. Here's Cournoyer getting in front, took the shot. And Tretiak was ready for him. Volchenkov clearing it out. Maltsev turning at the Soviet line. In over the Canadian blue line, the shot. Dryden making the save on the short side. Canadians are leading here 3-1, and we have just over 5 minutes left in the second period. Luchenko laying it back to Kuzkin. He fanned on an attempted pass. Shlukov is on the ice. Now Tremblay comes in. He's bumped by Luchenko. Kuzkin got away from Risebrow. Canadians making changes. Alexandrov on the right side. Left the puck, went the other way. Don Ory was trying to set him up. He didn't want it. Now Robinson is in over the line. Lambert couldn't get it. Vikulov coming down over the line. Shlukov is in there too. Now along the boards. Lambert gives it to Robinson, ahead to Tremblay. Tremblay at the Red Army line, fakes the shot around the net, trying to center it. He carries on to the corner, bumping there along the boards gently with Luchenko. Face off outside the Red Army line. LePointe to Savard. Savard chops the shot into the corner. Gusev with Lemaire after him. It hit Wilson. Gusev barges along the boards. Where is it, they say, and it's back on the stick of Gusev. He gives it to Petrov. Petrov forced back into his own zone. Here's Gusev. Canadians doing forward-checking of a tremendous magnitude right here. They have the 3 forwards up and their defense up near the line. Now they fall back. Petrov is starting out. Petrov is coming down to the Canadiens line. He's in over the line. Harlamov going in, he scores! Beautiful setup. And Harlamov with that backhand shot gets a beautifully executed goal by the Soviets. And again, it's on the table, Dick. 3-2 Montreal.
He makes the big play, John, and he makes it again.
Yeah, here's Petrov now. He's a great stick handler. Number 16. Now watch him slide this puck through to Harlamov. And goes right in between Lemaire and Guy Lapointe, and the backhands are right into the far corner. This is a super goal again. It's like the one he got in New York the other night.
One of the few times the Canadiens' defense has sort of moved over and been a little too close together. They were both on that one side. 7 shots for the Soviets, 2 goals, 3-2 Montreal.
Red Army goal scored by number 17, Valery Karlamov. Assist number 16, Vladimir Petrov. And number 7, Boris Mikhailov. At 16 minutes, 21 seconds.
Here's Mikhailov coming back in over on this side. Gusev a screen shot. And it went high off.